Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about the dangers of inflation and what I've done to prepare myself for it. And if you like fun videos about gold and silver, please subscribe. So I want to start off by saying all we have for the numbers available to go off of is the CPI. And it's a subject for another video, but it only really makes sense if you don't buy groceries or heat your home. But as I said, these are the only numbers that we have to go off of, so that's what I did my research based on. Hope that's not a problem. You see, they want to keep the CPI, that's the Consumer Price Index, numbers low, so that they could print more money, give out more loans, devalue the currency more, and it goes unforeseen, and it puts a lot more money making a lot more loans into bankers' pockets. Making loans is how banks make money. You see, falsified data is that's actually one of the issues and dangers of inflation. And one thing that I do want to touch on here is how it affects, we measure GDP, and we have good numbers on GDP per year. But as you can see in this graph that I created here, we're saying the economy grew, when if you minus the rate of inflation, it actually contracted. And many of these times it's not seen as a recession at all, even though the economy is retracting as a whole. It's something that people should be paying attention to if they are following the macro trends, because it could go underlooked very easily, and it tells a different story when you look at the GDP growth after you factor in the rate of inflation for the year. It's a completely different story overall. And that is one of the dangers of inflation. How people, and it leads to bad investments. It leads to not understanding the bigger picture as a whole when you choose to spend money and feel comfortable spending money when the economy is contracting. And it's never a good time to buy a new car or something like that, especially if you can't afford it and going into debt with it when the economy is contracting. Another scary part about inflation is just how fast it can move. I mean, we've all heard the stories and seen the photos of people in Weimar, Germany, pushing wheelbarrows full of money just to get bread. How they give piles of cash to kids because nobody wanted it, nobody cared about it, is worthless. That to me, that is a big thing to me, just how fast it can move. Now, I'll show you on a graph in a little bit here just how it can take place in, it's not just third world countries, it's everywhere it could take place. Runaway inflation. We've seen it in America right around 1980. when you're seeing percentages of inflation in the double digits, that's starting to run away to me, to anyone that's runaway inflation. Now, so as you can see what it's talking about on the graph here, I'm throwing up the price of gold. This is the closing price, not the high, not the low. And this is just the average closing price of every year is what I used for the price of gold. Because I don't know about you guys, that's typically when I go to the local coin shop. But that's my plan on how to defend myself. Now, this stuff here, that is why I bought it. It's my hedge against inflation. Silver, it's a lot more speculative. Yeah, it's acted like a hedge at times in the past a lot, but if you look on this graph though, you can see how in the past little bit it just hasn't been acting quite so much as a hedge. It's just dropped off in the past little bit. That's why this is typically seen as more of the speculative metal. This is the hedge against inflation. It's not too tightly linked, but long term, this, as you can see, it matches up pretty well. It's the best hedge I could find. But as you could also see on the silver graph though, this stuff's cheap right now, not this. This, well, I personally believe that this is still cheap. Both metals, gold and silver. But if you compare the two right now, you could get a deal on this right now, I believe. This, yeah, it's undervalued, yeah, but it's not gonna, don't expect gold to shoot the moon though. Gold, yeah, it'll go up. I believe it'll go up. You see all the money that's printed? That's gonna create some inflation. People run to gold when they see inflation. Silver, now I haven't gone into the 2020 graph right now, or any of that statistics on the graph. I know it's a higher price right now, but it's just, when you're talking less than $20 American for this, you can't go wrong. You cannot. Now, gold's approaching a prior peak, but as you can see from the graph that I'm just shown, silver's nowhere near its prior peak. If you actually adjust the inflation rate for the previous price of silver and what that would be in today's currency, we're talking an all-time high of, we're in the four figures. So, no, to me that is the all-time high. We're talking a long period of time here. Don't expect it to do that anytime soon. There's been many, many things in the past, and I would love to explore this time period in another video, and please subscribe if you'd like to see that. And thanks for watching. As I said, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay positive.